Hello YouTube, it is Chris here. In today's episode, we are going to be reviewing and testing the Schrade SCH-503RB. So stick with me as we test this budget-friendly production everyday carry folder. Welcome back, everybody. Now, like I said, we're going to be testing the Schrade SCH-503RB. It's a very budget-friendly knife. Comes in most places. You can get it online for about 45 bucks. If I'm not mistaken, it does MSRP or retail for about $70. Now, what I'm going to take a few close-up shots for you so you guys can see this up close. This has already been tested, but the tip itself, see if I can get it in frame. There you go. The tip, still really nice. And you are going to see throughout testing, we're not going to take too long on this, but there's some minor chipping and some blade rolling in the blade, like very minor. It's mostly very minor little nicks and blade rolling, nothing too super serious. And throughout all of the cutting and slicing and all this stuff we were doing with it, the coating did okay. It's not too bad, but it definitely did start coming off, and there's definitely wear on it after only 1 day of use. But I don't want to take too much time up and want to go ahead and jump into the test footage for the Schrade's new folding knife.
Look at that.
Yeah, I gotta say the edge geometry does lend itself to shaving the curls off the wood pretty well.
You could whittle with this.
All right, bud. So, while you're using the knife, what'd you think?
It's pretty smooth. Didn't offer a whole lot of resistance. Went right through. Followed the movements of my hand, and it cut beautifully, really. I like this knife a lot.
All right, guys. I want you guys to see this. Now, this blade opens and closes. It's a little rough. Still no blade play though. There's no wiggle. But I'm gonna hold this. Try to hold this kind of tight, so you guys can see. But just the force. My hand is not. My finger is not a lock. You're snapping in. I unactivated the lock. So, I don't know if this is a malfunction, but just the weight of my pressure in my hand was able to take that lock right out of commission. So, I liked it for cutting and for usage, but as far as being able to take any, the lock being able to take any pressure on the spine or any wax, any mishits, anything like that, for a torture thing, this is definitely not going to be something you could ever hard use. It's definitely going to be an EDC knife, something that you'll use to, you know, cut some boxes up, very light tasks, nothing very special. But I was kind of hoping the Sherlock was going to be a little bit different, a little bit better, a little bit stronger. But the fact that I can go like this, I mean, the lock, you can hear it. I'm deactivating the lock without touching it. It's locked open. My hand's here. Yeah. Failed. Now, I did contact some of the representatives at Schrade, the liaison people that I get to talk to for when I do testing of their knives. And I told them what happened. I told them it failed. And they were like, oh wow, we're sorry it failed. I'm still not sure what's going to happen, if they're going to send me a replacement to check out, or they're going to go take it back to the drawing board. I'm not really sure where they're going with it. However, something I do want to make mention is the downward strikes that I do with the guard and the spine wax that I do that test the positive and negative pressure on the locking mechanism. Something I want to reiterate is there are a couple Schrade knives that are in my channel that I have tested that I do this exact, when I test the knives, I do this exact same test, the same battery of tests with the knives. I stab them to test their tip strength. I perform a lot of cutting tasks, slicing and whittling, making feather sticks, messing with wood. Just pretty simple, regular stuff you would do with a blade anyway. And then I put it through the normal locking mechanism stress test, so to speak, to figure out if it's a knife that I'm really going to like or not. There are Schrade knives that have passed. So like I want to make clear, I'm not bashing Schrade. I'm not even bashing this knife. I had really high hopes for this knife. I was really excited. I love the fact that how it's designed is you can deploy it and you can disengage it without getting your finger. And like I said, even with it technically being able to disengage the lock, it's pretty freaking smooth. So like I said, there was a lot of aspects about this knife I liked. It was very solid feeling, very sturdy. It wasn't a super small knife. It wasn't very lightweight, but still wasn't bulky. Doesn't weigh you down, wasn't really thick. I was loving the ergonomics of it. There was so much going for it, and I was really excited. But like I said, due to the fact that I can disengage the lock, really bothers me. It's not something that I would personally be EDCing anymore, knowing the fact that I can do that under my own pressure. And I don't consider myself the strongest guy in the world. But with that being said, I thought this lock was going to be a lot stronger. I've heard rumors it was a lot better. But maybe it's a cool concept for them to build upon, but right now I'm not really happy with it. But that does it for now, guys. Hope you guys have a good day. I'm out.